And good morning, y'all. This is Driver. So we're gonna play around a little bit on wrench. I'm up early in the morning. Everybody's asleep, so I feel pretty decent for the moment. I'm bringing you guys into here and pretty goof around a little bit. This is a game I've been messing with here for a little bit. Bear with me just a minute here. Trying to fix some of the audio. I haven't never streamed this one before, so it's gonna be a little bit different today. But anyhow, so for those that are not familiar with a wrench, it is obviously like a car mechanic style simulator. It's built more around racing rather than just buying and restoring vehicles. So you start off by doing odd end jobs, for other customers. That's in this is your tablet menu. Yeah, access with tab. And you do, just various jobs that customers are wanting done to their cars. And after a while, you build up enough money and reputation, XP leveling and all that stuff to eventually buy a car and then start doing racing. And then you're limited on which kind of races you can do. I'm currently doing limited class, so I have to make sure I enter in those. I have done the unlimited class, which is turbo cars, but I was failing horribly over there, so I switched back to limited. So I figured I'd take you along doing some stuff today. I'm working on the race car before the race. Those races change over time. And this is kind of the shop you start with. This game is very early access. I went through and rearranged the shop the other day. I originally had all my workbenches over in this corner here and kind of got tired of the clutter. So I moved everything over here, which made more sense. So I keep my spare parts over here. Actually, not that piece there, but from this fuel injector line all the way to the left, that's all pieces for when I put the car back to turbo. And the rest is just leftover parts that I can still use. This is an oil thing. You go up here and you can crouch down and look at stuff. There's fill levels on the bottle here. Goes all the way up to 5.5 quarts. Your car used to take 4, depending upon your engine. So what's kind of cool about this is you can just hit that red button and watch it come up. You'll see the oil kind of come up. It's translucent, and then just stop it. So, but yeah, I've just kind of got my chemicals over here. We're doing brake jobs and stuff like that. This game is very detailed to a point. Like I said, still early access, but there's just a lot that goes on in here, and you'll kind of see that as we go. These are the few trophies I have won, 2 first place trophies and 2 second place trophies, but I've been losing a lot. So that's why I'm doing a revamp on the car. With this game being in early access, you can go in here and make sure I'm clicked on my car. I can look at the logbook, and these are in green because I've inspected the parts and that they're not broken, but they're, I had to figure this part out. This was what was confusing. This fraction area here is an hours thing. So the rear brake hardware supposed to only have 25 hours of life in it. And I've got 47 hours of life in it, which is why it's 188%, because it's definitely overused. Everybody is saying to keep your parts at 50% or below. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm like, you know what, if I'm going to win races, then that's what I'm going to have to do. So that's kind of what I'm working on right now. And then you can also go and do test car. And right now it's telling me the engine turns over but will not start. I think I know what that problem is, so I'll have to address that here in a little bit. And all that. So in here you got your garage, which we were just looking at. You can move vehicles around. I can move that to the other left over here to my right. I can put it in the race trailer. I have to put the car in the race trailer to go to the races. And then you got your storage bays. I only have one car, so I didn't see the point of purchasing all the storage bays. And then, oops, hit tab again. You got classifieds. This is where you can buy cars. You can own more than one, obviously. But right now, I'm just not looking to buy another car. Obviously, I don't have the money. And then the drive board we've seen. Then the manual. So they have a game manual here that talks about like basics, stuff like that. But it's already accessed. So a lot of your images aren't provided, and a lot of text is kind of missing. And it's like that throughout a lot of this. The one thing that I was running into was the parts inspection, trying to figure that out, because that was what I was talking about with the parts. There was confusion in that, and then how the logbook is really supposed to work, and there's nothing in here about that really. So it's missing a lot of stuff, but it's in early access. The game's been out for at least 4 years, if I'm remembering correctly. So And when I was rear-ending my garage, for some reason, I cannot move this tire machine. So I'm just going to have to put up with it. But so today, what we're going to be messing with this morning is we're going to be working on suspension and brake components. As you can see, I've already hovered over and looked at the parts. When I haven't looked at them, they're in orange, waiting for me to determine, you know, what's good and what's bad about them. So I'm going to need wheels, I'm going to need tires, things like that. So I'm just going to kind of go through them here and there. At the bottom of my menu, at the bottom of my screen here, you'll see my toolbar. And I hit 1 and there's my impact. I always use it on loosening. Every time you come in the game, it puts it back on tighten. You can switch between the tools. You actually have to torque everything. All the nuts and bolts have to be torqued. And then you have a flare wrench, which is used on the brake lines, maybe used for more things later on. The camshaft locking tool, which is used on taking the cam lock out. Another cam gear lock that holds the gear in place. And that's where it was talking about the vehicle won't start. So I got to look at that real quick. So let's take a look at that real fast. Stand up where we can see what we're doing here. And on the plus side, there's no damage. So dropping things, it doesn't hurt them. So I got to figure out why it doesn't start though, because typically it doesn't start. Usually this cam markings is not right. And it does look like that. The E is over here. So I got to take a whole bunch of crap apart. That stinks. So let's go ahead and get started with that first. So we're going to need to get rid of this hose. I can't remember if I put coolant in it yet. So we're going to find out here in a minute. I'm going to set this stuff to the side. Everything is literally hands-on. Every little piece. So, yep, it had coolant in it. Oh well. It is what it is. That means I lost the coolant, which is what it is. So I got to take that bolt out to get this belt off. So we're just going to set a lot of this stuff to the side here. I have to take this pulley off. A whole lot just to do some of this stuff. And I'll use the impact for, like I said, it's just removing bolts. So we got to get rid of this. The nice thing is that your bolts and stuff go in your pocket, but I thought I'd just seen one hit the floor. And you can clip through everything too. You can walk right through it. But no, I guess it didn't. So continue on here. I got to remove all this garbage here. So this was the one locking tool I was talking about that goes there. Just the crankshaft lock. Oh, wait a minute. That goes back in my pocket. What am I doing? I was taking this. Give me that piece. Okay, so that part down there is done. I got to pull valve cover off. I just completely rebuilt this engine. Every part on here is brand new. Every part that I had to replace. So pretty much everything is new. There's a few things I didn't replace because they were still in relatively good condition. This off and just set it to the side. And normally what I would do, depending upon the job I'm doing, I would take my cam lock and put it in there, and it keeps those gears from turning. That way while you're, you know, taking the belt off and things like that. One thing we missed, we got that spring. This over here. Then we take the belt off. So now there's the time belt off. So, but unfortunately, we need to reset this. I'll put that back in my pocket. There's two ways you can go about this. You can do this, and you can drag this like this, and it will turn it. Or you can put a socket and a ratchet on there. So typically, the easier thing to do is just to do this. And of course, I'm using a breaker bar to do this. This is kind of the way to do it. One of the ways. This is just one of the torque wrenches / breaker bar, what they call it. What I'm going to do is just kind of get this thing turned pretty close to where it needs to go. We'll stop there. And then this is where it kind of gets a pain in the tail, because you got to get your height right, your angle right, so you can see this line. See, and putting it there, it's hard to see that line. We'll do that. And then to make sure I don't goof up, I can put that there. And that pretty much sets the teeth where they belong. So that lines up right. So see the E here is got the line marked up the E side. That's exhaust. And then intake obviously is this side. So just one thing I overlooked. I lined up the lines, but I wasn't paying attention. I did it with the intake instead of the exhaust. So that was truly my fault. We're going to leave that there for a minute. We'll put our timing belt back on. Then I'll take and put that back in my pocket. Just do that to hold the gears in place. The other thing to check too when you're doing the timing is right here. You got this little arrow going down. It needs to be in the middle of this little groove. So you got to do that as well. And the funny thing is that the way this game is built, you can put pieces on and forget pieces, and you have to go back, take it back apart, do it over again. So it's kind of a pain. That gets torqued to 160. So we're going to need a breaker for that. And I have this set up on auto ratcheting. So I just do one click and I can move my hand off the mouse, and it just does what it needs to do. And it'll torque it just right for you. All right, put that back in our pocket, and then put this back in our pocket. I always keep my tools in my pocket, the ones I use all the time. I'm gonna grab this. Pop that on. I need the ring. And then these screws right here. You have those little bolts. Those get torqued at 10 Newton meters. So they do everything in Newton meters. I'm used to inch and foot pounds, so it's a little different for me. And one thing a lot of us have been asking for is the adjustment for the tools to be changed a little bit. And I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a minute. Go ahead and get these bolts tightened before I forget them. Okay. So all the tools you can put an extension on except the impact. And then with Y on the keyboard. This is not a controller from the game. It doesn't work with like an Xbox controller or anything like that. But there is VR, and VR does work. I just don't have a VR system. On your mouse, your scroll wheel will change it between loosening and tightening. To adjust the how tight you're going, you got to use left and right on the keyboard, which is kind of odd. And most of us that have complained about it, not exactly complained, but suggested, is that they change that or flip that around or something like that, because you're constantly changing your torques, your torque numbers, but not your tightening and loosening. Usually you're one or the other. So put that back in our pocket. We need that. Now we got to get back in the engine bay here. There we go. This one. And these are 12 Newton meters. So yeah, I'm having to use the keyboard to set the torque settings. I just put another deal in my pocket. Okay, so I need to put the spring back in here. I should have done that before I put that on, but that pulley. But it just goes back in here. It's getting the right angle to put some of those back on. Get that in there. Get our belt back on. We can put the valve cover on last. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. Now, for the alternator, there's another bug that they've got. Hit the wrong button again. 9. So instead of being right here and be able to put the bolt in, you got to kind of get to it sideways at an angle, and it's not even lined up correctly. Also, too, the alternators, when you put the alternator on, it doesn't line up right, and you kind of have to do it by hand. And I'll show you what I'm talking about in a second. Let me get this torque before I forget about it. when you're doing actual jobs, if you forget a nut or a bolt or forget to torque something the right number or whatever, you'll not exactly fail the job, but you'll lose a lot of money. So, but anyhow, when you're, put that back in my pocket. So I'm going to use the valve cover, for example, here. So you can press V and it's called inspection mode. And you just kind of turn it and you can look around. It's got a gasket on it, which is all new right now. When you're putting that alternator on, you have to do it this way, and it'll give you the option to set it on there, and hopefully you'll have it turned right. If not, you pull it back off and rinse and repeat. Basically what it comes down to. Let's go and get this put together. Those bolts for F3. I like the idea of having more hands-on with the parts, and having a torque wrench and different things like that. It makes it more interesting. I still like Car Mechanic Simulator. I haven't played it in a long time, due to a lot of things that's been going on. A few days ago, I decided to give this game a try again, because the one thing I'm not familiar with is all these 4-cylinder engines. And currently, they're in the process of putting a V8 engine in here. I'm not exactly sure what kind, but this 4-cylinder was the only motor to work on. It was all the same parts, so you're rebuilding the same car over and over again, which is kind of like your race car anyways. You're always working on it. And I know I'm not doing torque sequence correctly. They haven't actually implemented that in, and sometimes I just get lazy and I just go from one end to the other. And some of the torque sequentials that I've seen online for this game, it doesn't, in my mind, isn't right. Everything I've ever done with V8 engines, you always started in the middle and you worked your way out. So I'd start with there, I'd do an X to there, one here to here. I'd get these two in the middle and then final out my X. So, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear my belt. The cool thing is you can put a lot of little parts in your pocket just by pressing Q. And that way you can just come back over and just spam your buttons of whatever it was. Makes things a little bit easier, a little quicker. Same thing with these little clamps. And you have to be careful with these clamps when you pick them up, because this end opens and closes the clamp. This end picks up the clamp. It's kind of a pain in the butt. But come on, give it to me. Put them down here on the floor picking up stuff. But it makes it kind of convenient when you can actually pick up the clamps and be able to place them. Unfortunately, I'm holding another one, so I got to place it first before I can clamp them. But I do like the clamp setup on those. So now that that's back together, I think I got all my pieces picked up. I usually keep everything in a close radius or in a line of some sort, so I know I have everything. So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at our logbook, our test car, and it's telling me the engine's overheating because there's no coolant in it, and we're missing body panels, compromising aerodynamics, which is fine because those are off. So we're going to take the radiator cap out. We got to get our funnel. It's the easiest way to do it. You can do it without the funnel, but if you spill a lot, you're kind of messed up on that. So we'll grab our coolant. Like I said, there's a lot of hands-on. So you have to hold down your left mouse to pour. So it can be a little lengthy at times. I wish they had something like they do with the engine oil that I can just stick a bottle in and it just fills it up. But in real life, this is what you'd be doing anyways in your car. In real life, you'd be a little bit more accurate on your pours and wouldn't need the funnel most of the time. And then I didn't lose a lot of coolant. I only took the one hose off, but now that thing's full. I mean, it's good the radiator's full. Drop that. Unfortunately, I can't. This coolant, I have tried taking this funnel and stick it over like a coolant jug, and you don't never get it back. So you just end up spilling it all over the place. So it just does that. Good thing is you don't get charged for messes and stuff like you do in Car Mechanic Simulator. So anyhow, that's all pretty much done. I'm going to leave the hood off because we're actually going to have to, we're probably going to have to do some suspension work. I'm not sure how bad this is down here. Yeah, it's overdue. And there's bolts up here too. So we're just going to leave that. And while we're at it, I'm going to go back here and I'm going to pull this rear cover off too. You can take a lot of these body panels off, set them to the side if you need to for any kind of work. There's our battery, which we got to replace as well. So it's a lot of money spent. So actually, I think I'm going to just start right here with this battery. I think it looks like it's going to be interesting. I've never done the battery before. So you can go through and look in your catalog, and I'll show you real quick. Our tab menu. So in our catalog, we can go in here to, I think it's an engine accessories. Yeah, here we go. So they've got two different batteries. You're currently running the AGM, and there's the tie down for it and the battery tray. And then they have another battery that you can buy. It's a lot more money. It's about $80 more. Supposedly it's lighter. And there's a different hold down and tray for it. I think I'm just going to stick with the AGM that I've already got. That way I don't have to buy extra stuff. Maybe later on down the road I'll switch to this Life P, the Phoebe 04. I don't have a clue how they're calling that one. So we're just going to stick with the AGM. So I'm going to order it here because I'm already here. But also you can hover over the part and press G on the keyboard and you can order that way. And our battery's here in that box. Let's get this battery out first. Let's see. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clear my belt. There's one there and one down there. Then we can take this off. Can I put that in my pocket? Yeah, I can. Okay, so the battery's trash. Right to the trash can it goes. Open our box up and get our pretty new battery. And then go ahead and put our pieces back together. I mean, this is pretty simple. 20 Newton meters, so I'm going to put an extension on that. So there is a beta version of this game that you can play, but it doesn't have any jobs and you can't do any of the racing. But it's kind of like it's basically just a sandbox only. They've came out with a lot of new tools. You got actual sockets. So you actually got to grab the right socket and bring it in for the job and things like that. So it's pretty neat that way. They got a creeper. You can lay on the creeper and crawl under the car. But there's no money limit, but it's just, I don't know. To me, it's a little bit boring because after you build a motor so many times, you want something other than just a motor to build. So anyhow, start here at the corner. Pretty much most of the suspension is coming apart. Take a tire, put it out of the way. Actually, we're going to need new tires and wheels. So G. Actually, this box is empty. Let's get rid of this box real quick. We're probably going to need more parts, so we'll probably order everything we need as we go. Let's see this caliper. So the caliper is pretty good. So I'm going to hold on to this caliper. Brake jobs are pretty easy. It's when you're doing your motor work. Caliper slide pin. We'll hold on to it. It'll be okay for now. I'm going to take this and I'm just going to set it down here somewhere. We're going to re-bleed all the brakes and stuff too. Our pads are pretty wore out. So this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this over on the workbench. Closer to me though. I'll park it there. And we need pads, so we definitely need 2 pads for that. Oh, I forgot to check. There's clips in here. So let's take that out, set it down. Take that out, set it down. Okay, that hardware is new. That hardware is new, so that's good. We're going to need a new rotor. I'll go and add that to the list, and we'll chunk that in the trash can. And we're going to need another hub. So let's mark that. and new studs. 4 of those. Get this off here. We'll toss this. We're not going to order a big crazy box. Ooh, I clicked that twice. As far as on the suspension side, we're going to go ahead and just we're going to make order for one suspension side at a time. That wheel bearing, it's good, but it's getting close. So I'm going to go and order another one. So when you take the drive shaft out, or the axle, I mean, this little clip, we're going to put that in our pocket so we don't lose it. I think I put that on my list. Let me check here. Yep, I got that on my list. I'm going to just toss it in the trash. As far as that, that's all pretty much good now. Got a lot of bushings we got to replace, so we're going to tear all that apart too. Let's go and get that out. Do that. Put that in my pocket. And then that out. And that. 1 and Q are so close together, I kind of do that a lot. My pocket. This piece is free. So I'll bring this over. I'm sitting on the other workbench. Because the knuckle's still good, but the bushing isn't. That's just a type 1. Oops, put that on our list. That bushing's done. That control arm is done, so we got to order those as well. A lot of nuts and bolts, folks. A lot of nuts and bolts. Get that out of there. And this piece I'm just going to lay here. I know I need this control arm, that bushing, and that bushing. I'm going to take this back over and chunk it in the trash because we don't need it now. There we go. And then this lower control arm is actually in pretty good shape, but the bushings need to be redone. And we need to also do this rear shock. So let's grab that. And then I need to lower the car down enough to get into here. Okay, so that's done. This I'm also going to lay on the workbench somewhere. We're going to have to dismantle this. All these other pieces are good. It's just the shock body is all that needs to be replaced. I need to add that to my cart. And then what I'm also going to do, I'm just going to go in here. I'm going to look at the bushings and I'm going to order all these bushings. I'm running out of room to hold the bolts at this point. And that bushing. Okay, so we got all that stuff ordered. So yeah, $1,100 right there, just in one corner. Plus we got new tires and wheels coming too. So complete our purchase. Wait for our stuff to show up. Oh, I forgot to add extras. We need more than just one tire and wheel. That's okay. This is junk. So it goes in the trash. Let's go ahead and do this first. That over there. Grab our tire. Oop. No balance or anything. You just put it on there. Done. Come on, move that piece over. There we go. Okay. And then everything else we need is in that box. Throw that away. Let's go ahead and empty our trash can. the majority of this, we're going to actually, yeah, we're going to take this over here with us. Be a lot easier for rebuilding parts. Excuse me. All right, so we're going to start with this. Put this up here. That's a type 1 bushing. I want to make sure I grab the right bushing that goes in there. One over there. Get that out. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make kind of like a little parts pile. Put those over there. Okay, so this is done. Bring our completed parts back over here. Wait, was there supposed to be a bearing in that? Let me see that again. I think there, yeah, that bearing goes in there. Whoops. When you're in view mode, you can't turn with the mouse. Okay, set that there, and that should be a bearing. There we go. Now it's complete. Let's put this over out of our way. And we're going to go ahead and work on these brake pads. So these brake pads have these little shims on the outside. I only ordered the pad because the shim never goes bad. So put this over in the pile. And then give me that shim. Okay, we got to do something about these. Hold on a sec here. Need to lay these flat because they're, this one's over here dancing around. Okay, I guess that's just another glitch in the game. We'll go with it. We'll just go ahead and get the shims on here before they disappear. That part is junk. And that's done. Oh, wait a minute. We forgot to put the clip in this. And it will let you put it back together without it. And it will fail faster. So. All right. I really want to do these bushings here, but I don't have room in my pockets for the bolts. I want to try to get some of this other stuff done first. Actually, I think what I'm going to do, those are junk. This can actually be placed in there. Let's just start picking up bushings, see if they fit in there. Nope, that don't fit. Let's try this one. That does. Probably another type 3. That does, okay. Take this and bolt this back in. We can get some of our space back. Just the upper control arm. So which bolt was that? Let's try this bolt first. Yeah, nope, not that one. So let's try that one. Can't remember which one. There we go. Now we got a winning combo going here. Let's get the respective nuts on there. Well, I've got more of those. Is that F5? It is F5. Okay. 4. Thought that would free up some room, but that didn't work in our favor. Okay, so that's back in. It's all pretty much refreshed. What I can do, where did I put it? Is it over here? This piece here. I can put this back and go and put that bolt in up there, and I might free up a little room too. I think that was the other F5 bolt. It is. Oh, what's that? 36%. Okay, I'll hold off on the bolt, but I'm going to go ahead and clear it. A lot of those bolts have that on there. Not all bolts, but some do. Go another 70. So that gave us a little bit more room in our belt down here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move everything over. So let's see. 6 can go into F3. 7 can go to F4. F8 can go to F5. Just move all this stuff over. Put that there. And then this one. Got 2 of them though. That one. Come on. And do that again. And then we can clear the rest of the. So now we got 3 spots we can work with hardware. Go ahead and start with this shock real fast. Get this over with. So grab this. And what I usually do is I just kind of lay everything out the way it came off. Take this one. Come on. And I've ran into this problem in the past. You gotta be at the right angle just to get that on there. And I do that all the time. Picking up the whole thing instead of what I want to do. So I'll just reassemble all this. Oh, I can't put that on yet. Put the nut back on it. 20 Newton meters. Okay, so that's done with. Just put this in our parts pile. Take this over. So now we just need to work on the lower control arm. That's all we need to do now. Put this down here somewhere. That's one spot out down here. Trying to get the best vantage point to use some of your tools can be a little chore. And I have to take that off and that one. See, I can take this piece, but I haven't bolted it up yet. Are you kidding me? Give me that. Should have just left it over on the table, guys. This is a 4, part 4. I think it's this one, type 4. Sorry. And then another type 4. Throw that over there. Type 4. Type 3. All right. Now just basically reassembly, guys. That's all it is. I thought about doing a series on here where I would just start fresh, but there's only one save game in here. So I don't want to start over just for YouTube side or streaming or whatever. I'm sure I can maybe figure out a way to do it. That's been another suggestion people have had, is to have, multiple save games just like other games do. Okay, so that's in. And it goes there. This. It's not with that one. It's this one. It's that one. Okay. And probably that one. tend to do these kind of one at a time. That way I don't get lost or forget stuff. Let's go ahead and get our shock in here. And 75. Should use an extension. Oh well. That's go ahead and put these other nuts back on. Okay. Now we go ahead and this up back up a little more. And let's see, we've got brake parts down here. Let's go ahead and see if we can put this in there. I think everything else we need out of here, we'll take the whole box. Those are the studs, okay. So I'll set that down. Easy to click the box instead of the part you want. What I'll do is I'm going to clear my bar out again. Well, that's kind of cool. You can, like I said, you can stick all these studs in your pocket and then you just put them all in. It's easier. And then this here is also another one of those things. You got to be at the right angle or something just to get it on. 200. All right, let's go ahead and just get this stuff all put together. Grab the whole thing here. Those are 50 Newton meters. It's way more time consuming, but it's a lot more realistic, and that's kind of what I like about it. I think the first time I did an engine rebuild on this game, it took me about 3.5 hours. I think the last one took me a couple hours. Newton meters. And our new tire and wheel. Okay, so that's done. That's that one corner. That's it. And we're already 50 minutes in. So put our box in trash. Another little cool feature they put in the game that I like is this little vacuum. I've got it in this bar, and you can toggle your mouse wheel what you want to do with it. And you only get two choices. You can either put all the parts in your pocket, or you can put it and dispose everything, and it all goes right into the trash can. Doesn't work on the box, but it works on almost everything else, small wise. So by doing that, all of our stuff is in the trash, and you got to carry it one at a time. And the funny thing is that I bought the vacuum cleaner when I was first able to buy it, and then I didn't know what to do with it for the longest time. Let's see. So we need a caliper this time. And pads and hardware and all kind of stuff on this corner. I'm surprised I didn't need hardware on this other side. Let me clip through here for a second. I'm going to look at this hardware over here real fast. Kind of hard to do sometimes, but yeah, I've already replaced the hardware. But it's brand new. When it's gray like that, it's brand new. I don't remember doing it. So, all right. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take this as a whole assembly. We'll tear it apart on the workbench. So we already know we need that. New pads. Try to lay them down flat if we can. And I laid that one wrong. Try that again. We need both of those. Okay. And need a rotor. More or less need a full brake kit. I missed the can. Oh, come on. I'll deal with it later. Go ahead and do that one too. Place that bolt. Let's see. There. I'm just gonna come over here. I'm gonna get the rest of these bushings that we need. don't need the lower control arm. That's good. All right, that way we can go and at least order our parts here. Go and get the rest of our tires and wheels because we got to do all 4 anyways. Take this over to the trash can. Grab our box and move our pallet at the same time. Some of this, there's some weird glitches, but you know, what do you expect in order to release, right? Okay, so this. Back on the table. Okay, that's complete. Go there. And then we'll get this bushing done. Type 1. So where's the type 1 laying in here? So type 4s. Where's the type 1? And that's done. And I ordered a whole nother one, didn't I? Yeah. Put that there. I don't remember which one's going that. I can't remember if it's 3 or 4. 3. Okay. And that part is done. Okay, so let's see, trying to figure out what to do here because my belt is full of parts. At least hold the nut like put everything else on the floor, I suppose. We got to do this too. The heck did it go? Right there. Give me that. Hate when it does that. I need to replace those bolts too. Crap. See if I need both of them. Yep, need both of them. That stinks. The only bolt that I need to buy? I don't have a clue. Pallet is really in the way. Something I should have done before I started this. I'm surprised I'm having this problem with this side. You can take these off too. Set it somewhere out of the way. We can actually stand here and look at this stuff. I can't remember what side the bolt went on. This side or the other side? This side. All right, cool. Okay, so that's in. Speed this one. Okay, so it's good. Okay, starting to look a little better. We need to go get our rear RCA long bolt. Did I just goof up on that? Yep, I did. Okay. That's my fault. Okay. Where's the other stud at? Right there. Okay, so alright, built off real quick. Already took the hardware off of those. New brakes. Month box, thank you. I'll set this on the workbench as well. That's junk. And that's an empty box. Cool. Sorry, I'm trying to get my arm a break at times when I'm doing stuff. Okay, that's all brand new right there. I don't like the clicking sound from changing your torque settings. I mean, it's a little more realistic in a sense, but this is a digital torque wrench. This one is. There's no audio settings in this game currently. Oh, I can't turn a lot of that down. I can just turn the game down only. So if anybody finds that some of the audio is too loud, let me know and I'll work on it. It looks like my microphone might be a little on the high side too. Okay, so that's all that done. We're going to cheat. We're going to put that right there like that. And we're going to go do the same thing with our other parts over here. Easy way to clean up. And that's just the back end of the car, guys. And we're already, what are we at? A little over an hour. That was a little bit of me BSing in the beginning, kind of explaining the game and such, but still takes a while to do some of this stuff. Opposite tire in there. Now we got to do the exact same thing to the front end. Put this in the trash. Probably into the trash would be a good idea. Oh, I forgot these parts. I'll do that one real quick while we work on turning this all apart. Definitely going to the front rotor again. Studs, probably a hub, caliper, brake pad. What do these clips look like? Come on, get on. Oh yeah, so we're going to do full front brake kits on this. I'm going to assume they're all bad, all these pieces. That's going to be the easiest thing to do. So let's go look for that in our catalog real quick. And let's go back to, it's going to be under front suspension. So I can order this front pad kit. We're going to throw that in there for now. And I'm probably going to need to replace all these bushings. forgot about the bushing kit. So yeah, let's do that as well. So we're gonna get this bushing kit. Let's go ahead and add that like that. And then we're still gonna need a few other things. We're gonna need this caliper, rotor, and let's start taking some stuff apart and see what we need in here. Take that to the workbench. Good enough for the moment. I've already added that, didn't I? Let me look. Yes. It missed. The walking is kind of slow in this game. It's got its perks, but it's a pain in the butt too. So we're gonna need a hub as well, so add that to our list. I think I'm just gonna start throwing a pile of crap out of the way. Tired of running back and forth to the trash can. Okay. I need a tie rod. The thing is, we're probably going to need the exact same stuff on the opposite side. So, wait a minute, hold on. Remove that rotor, because that comes in the kit if I'm remembering correctly. I could be wrong. We got the hub, but we don't have. Kind of getting ahead of myself. So let's just give me the whole thing. Let's just throw it away. Give me this rotor. I think we can complete our order that way. Seriously? Put it on a pallet. Okay. We'll go with it. I want to think about the ball joint. Oh, crap. Something tells me I probably got to order that bolt too. And this, I should have ordered a lot of different stuff. I got ahead of myself, guys. I apologize. There's a tie rod, so we're definitely going to need that. Look at our lower control over here. It's doable. I'll probably go and replace it. Did I order a ball joint? Jesus, Pete, I really got to quit doing that. Let's see. Let's get down the box. We can see what we're looking at here. That's a tie rod. I didn't order a ball joint. Okay. I should ordered a steering rack too. Jeez, oh Pete, this car needed all kind of work. Okay, so we're working on the upper control arm for the moment. Type 1 and type 1. Okay, good. Where's type 1? Where's the type 1? And I can, let's go back in. Okay, I'll have to do anything with that. Which washer was that? Okay, let's clear some space there. While we're here, we're going to go and just do the steering rack, be done with it. Set that there for now. That bolt was a pain in the butt to put in last time I did this. That little bitty pallet. Holy crap. I've never seen that one before. That's a new one, guys. Wow. Okay. So I'm going to try to get this one bolt in. So to figure out which bolt it is. Same as one of the other ones, and I don't know which one's which. It was one of them really weird, goofy angles I had to get into. Oop, right there. Okay, and we're still holding that. So is that it too? Yep. 20 newton meters. It took me 5 minutes to get that bolt in the first time because some of the angles were just really weird. Keep turning my caps on by accident. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this tie rod back on. I know it needs to be replaced. It would make sense to go ahead and do it now, but that way I don't confuse my parts around because I'm just doing one corner at a time. That way I'm not confused with what's going on. Why am I still holding that? Okay, so that's that. I already took that castle nut off, I guess. So. Wait a minute. Oh no. Hold up. We didn't take that one castle nut well. Put that F4. Forgot to. No. Got to clear those. Okay. So this can just come up and be sat down because don't need to do anything with it right at the moment. We can do that on the bench. Then we got to get to these here. Wow, 5 Newton meters. That sounds pretty low. That's done. Those are trash. Set that there. What's left is this. So this here, I'm actually going to leave the hardware on the floor for it. So that's F9. So let's put that. Put all that together like that. And this bolt I need to replace. And the same with that one. I don't know if I ordered them. I'll have to look in the box first. Set them over here. Hard to keep this organized sometimes. See wheel studs. I see all kind of stuff in here. There. I got a mixed box, isn't it? Okay, that's pretty well done. Let's get that out of our way. Get an idea of what bushings we got to grab. Type 1. Ball joint. Yep. One. I still didn't find those central alignment. No, I don't think I got any of my bolt pile either. Those are junk. You know why I have all those? Okay, so yeah, we gotta order these real quick. A lot easier just to grab them all at one time instead of this one at a time right here. 50. Actually, let's get the new tie rod in over here. So we can put all these cancel nuts and be done with them. guess that's in. I believe that goes on. What are we missing over here? Parts. A lot of bushings left in here. Look like bushings and brake stuff for. Yeah, it's all in there. Okay. Okay, not just brake stuff. I think I still need to order a rotor. Yep. The rotor doesn't come in the kit, guys. Tear all this apart. Of course, it just throws up. Oh, I didn't have room for it. That's why. Okay. That's my fault. Actually, so this caliper was garbage. That's the new one. Put everything on that table. One more. Need 2 of each of those. Let me clear this out. Type 1. No, don't flip it over. Oh, now. Okay, I gotta look at these bolts real quick. I didn't order them either. Dang it. Come on, give it back. Those are actually 2 different sizes. I'll take that. All right, so that's done. I'll pull this wheel off, and that way I know where I kind of left off at. I'm gonna have to take a break here, guys. Oops. I don't want to throw it yet. There we go. So guys, I'm gonna take a break. My hands are really giving me some fits again, so I'm gonna take a break and whatnot. So hope you all enjoyed, and I will catch you guys next time. See ya.